Good afternoon. I'm Joan Varr, registered dietitian and certified diabetes educator at Southwest Health Center. And today with our Sparkle group we are talking about plant-based diets. And I will be joined by Becky Welter, who is also a dietitian, registered dietitian in our facility. We'll start first by just talking about plant-based diets and their characteristics and cautionary things to think about. And then Becky will talk about some of the actual implementation that you can do in your home. So we'll start with our little PowerPoint. A plant-based diet, there's an estimate that in the United States there are between 2 and 8% of the population that is vegetarian. And there is a very popular campaign out called the Meatless Monday, and we actually do use that in our facility. And one of the things that Becky will be giving you is a list of things that we have within our facility that can be used on Meatless Monday in the cafeteria. A plant-based diet, the definition is that it's a diet that focuses on plants, but that leaves room for a spectrum of choices. So we have vegans who have absolutely no animal products, the lacto-ovo vegetarians who have no animal flesh but allow dairy and eggs, the pescatarian, which is a vegetarian that has no animal flesh except for fish and seafood, semi-vegetarian or the flexitarian, and they have small amounts of food. And then of course we have the omnivores who are meat eaters but do realize that there is an advantage of having less meat in their diet. So they're not necessarily a vegetarian but kind of look to the plant-based diet as part of their needs. Some of the rewards of a plant-based diet would include lower levels of obesity, reduced risk for cardiovascular disease, lower blood pressure, lower mortality. The Academy of Nutrition and Dietetics, which is the old American Dietetic Association, does have a position paper that states, well-planned vegetarian diets are healthful and nutritionally adequate for people throughout all stages of life and have health advantages for lower blood cholesterol, lower blood pressure, lower risks of heart disease, hypertension, and type 2 diabetes. The important word to look at in this position paper is the word well-planned, because we can have some very poorly planned vegetarian diets that will not give you the same benefits as are listed here. By well-planned, we're talking about not just replacing the meat with other no or low nutrient foods such as snacks, sweets, baked goods, or sweetened beverages. So we want to have the benefits from the plant-based diet come from legumes, soy products, whole wheat, whole grain, nuts, seeds, fruits, and vegetables. Some specific nutrients that sometimes need to be paid more attention to if you're using a plant-based diet would be protein. There are a wide variety of plant foods that do have protein in them, and I just listed a few on the slide. So for example, a half a cup of tofu would have 10 grams of protein. Half a cup of chickpeas, which is a type of legume, has 8 grams of protein. 1 ounce of almonds, which if anybody can remember from the almond ads, it's 23 almonds would be 1 ounce. That gives you 6 grams of protein. And in comparison, 7 grams of protein for each ounce of meat, fish, or poultry. Calcium can sometimes be a concern. There is calcium in green leafy vegetables, almonds, and broccoli. It's not very well absorbed if you're using spinach, but you might want to consider some of the calcium fortified foods. So for example, here's a B8 juice that is calcium enriched. And in this particular product, there are 300 milligrams of calcium per cup, which would be the same as milk. And another example, this is a Crystal Light product, and it has calcium added also, and this one has 200 milligrams in 1 cup. So there are sources out there for calcium. Vitamin D, the recommendation is to have 600 milligrams per deciliter for ages 1 through 70. This can include fortified foods, and then to consider a supplement if you're not getting adequate amounts of sunshine or vitamin D. Vitamin B12, 2.4 micrograms per day. It's readily available in animal products, but it can be found in fortified foods. So for example, in this Wheaties, it's a whole grain Wheaties product. If you look at the food label, it does list vitamin B12, and it says it has 50% of the recommended needs in 3/4 of a cup of the Wheaties. So if you look at food labels, you can also find vitamin B12. And in this product, the Frosted Mini Wheats, for vitamin B12 is 25% of the recommended needs. Okay. People who are vegans or near vegans might need to have some kind of a B12 supplement. Iron and zinc, if you add a vitamin C source, when you're eating plant-based iron products, that will increase your body's absorption of iron. And adequate amounts of iron and zinc are found in a diet with a variety of whole grains, legumes, green vegetables, and nuts. Lastly, we have omega-3 fatty acids. Sources that are non-meat based would be flax. This is flax seed. In order for the body to use the flax seed appropriately, it does need to be ground, which is what is found in this product. If you have 2 tablespoons of this product, it will give you 2,600 milligrams of omega-3 fatty acids. And you can also get some fatty acids from walnuts. If you are a vegan, sometimes you need some kind of a supplement that would have EPA and DHA supplement that comes from the marine algae, which is where the fish get it originally. And now we'll turn it over to Becky, and she'll talk about how to actually put it on your plate.
Okay, some of the handouts that we have is the myplate.gov, and it is showing how 3/4 of your plate should be plant-based foods. So again, this is a plant-based meal plan with a small amount of protein. So this would be the omnivores that Joan had mentioned earlier, and then a low-fat or fat-free dairy. So there is information at myplate.gov, and then on the back there's recipes and for incorporating more vegetables, so like a stir fry where you would have a whole grain rice as a base and lots of vegetables, whatever kind of vegetables you like, and then small amounts of meat. So again, to kind of decrease the amount of meat that you're eating and increasing the amount of plant-based foods. And this is called the New American Plate, and it is also recommending decreasing the amount of protein, and it has like stages if you are used to the regular American diet, which is, you know, large portions of meat and not a whole lot of vegetables. And so it has like stage 1 is a large portion of meat, mashed potatoes and peas, and then stage 2 is a larger portion of whole grain, like whole grain rice, smaller portion of meat, and a non-starchy vegetable. And then stage 3 is going to even a smaller portion of lean meat and maybe a couple of vegetables and whole grain rice. And then the stage 4 is just small portions of meat and more rice and vegetables. And in the back of this there's also a lot of good recipes for one-pot meals, but also for grains and for salads, and you know, a lot of different good healthy recipes in there. Also, there's recipes here for incorporating more black beans. I made the black bean soup this week, and that was very good, the chipotle black bean soup. I also put brown rice in mine too, so gave it a little bit more substance, but anyway, that was good, so to try that. Also, I belong to this fruits and vegetables website, and each week they send us healthy menu ideas, and so this one has breakfast, lunch, dinner, and snacks. They are plant-based, but they do have small amounts of fish, and this one has cod and yogurt, and egg whites, so it would be like a lacto-ovo, and the fish also. But they have recipes for each of these menu ideas too at their website, so you can get other information there. And then, like Joan said, we do have the Meatless Monday suggestions in our cafeteria here that you can also do at home if you like any of those things. So, does anyone have any questions?